In this exercise, we have a demand and supply curve for a particular product. So if we notice, first we have the demand curve, and the second one here is the supply curve. In our exercise, we're going to change this up just a tad. Instead of being a tax on the suppliers, let's make the tax on the consumers. Let's begin with finding the equilibrium price and quantity before taxes. So before taxes, we have that the demand is equal to 2,500 minus 20 times the price, and the supply is 10 times the price minus 500. So if we set these two equal and solve, we would find that P is equal to $100 and resulting with a quantity of 500 units. And we can depict this in a graph if we were to graph the demand and the supply curve. So the demand curve looks something like this, with an intercept here of 2,500. And the supply curve will look something like this, with an intercept down here of negative 500. And if we label the point of intersection, this would be the point at $100 along the price axis. And this would be a quantity of roughly 500 units along the Q-axis. Next, let us consider the specific tax of $6 per unit imposed on consumers. So, if the tax is imposed upon the consumer, we're going to need a new demand function. So in the demand function, we'll replace the price with what the consumer actually pays now, which is the price plus the tax. In this case, the tax is $6. So our new demand function would be 2,500 minus 20 times P plus 6. The supply curve would be unchanged and would remain at 10P minus 500. So if we want to find the new equilibrium price and quantity, we could set these two equal to one another. And if I do this and solve for P, I believe what we'll see is P, the price, will now be $96, and the new quantity will be 460. If you were to graph these, the graph would not look much different than what we had before. The supply curve would be the same. The demand curve would not change much. And what we'd have here, if we labeled the points, the point of intersection here would be at a price of $96 and a quantity of 460. Now, let's consider the tax paid by both the consumer and the producers. So if we look at this, consider the producer. They used to be able to charge a price of $100, and now the price has dropped to $96. So they are getting to keep $4 less than before. So the $4 is their share of the tax. And if we consider the consumer, well, they're paying $96. That's the price. But they're also paying a $6 tax, and this is a total of $102. This is $2 more than the $100 that they used to pay. So that is their share of the tax. Now, as for the government, they're receiving as tax revenue $6 per item. So their tax revenue would be $6 times the number of items that can be sold at this new price, which is 460, that would be a total of $2,760.